Greetings, Chain Champions. I welcome you to Live with Chatufa, the platform of the gospel of the freedom of the Zimbabwean people. For those that are joining us for the very first time, we always encourage you, do not forget, as always, to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell, so that each time that we are live, you are the first to receive the notification. We continue to talk about issues that are happening in our country as we pray for the freedom of the Zimbabwean people, believing that God is in it and the season of change has come. We look at what is happening in the nation, around SADC, around Africa, and in the whole world. What really is happening as change continues to draw closer and closer to us. We are looking at Mutsvangwa after the arrest of his son because of the forex trading. Mngangagwa targeting again Mnangagwa's family. We have seen now there is a letter that has been coming around, moving around in social media, moving around among the people. And this letter has been lambasting the Second Republic. This letter has been very, very strong, criticizing Mnangagwa and the Second Republic. And we see that the words that are spoken in this letter really are very, very strong words. And although they may say it is fake, the Zanu-PF people, the Varakashi, they are dismissing this letter as a fake letter. And well, we could say it could be fake, it may not be, but the issues that are discussed in this letter are real issues that are happening on the ground, because the letter indicates that the alleged Chris Mutsvangwa speaks about the agreement that they made when the coup happened, that they were not going to be touching close relatives. So anyone who was a close relative to the big wigs of Zanu-PF was not supposed to be touched in any circumstance whatsoever. And then they continue to say also in the letter that me and my wife, we are demanding the release of our son. Why only our son has been arrested while the Mnangagwa boys are left, free and continuing with their business? So as always, he also indicates that people that are in the Reserve Bank, people that are in the Politburo, in the high offices of Zanu-PF, they are all involved in dealings, Chinese deals, looting of minerals, and also the forex issues. So he continues to complain that this is a very unfair targeting of their children. So Zanu-PF is always are coming out guns blazing and castigating this letter and also just asserting that this letter is a fake letter. Nothing of this sort has happened. When you look at most of the platforms that are coming out so strongly against this letter are those that are supporting Zanu-PF, especially the apologists of Zanu-PF. They are the ones that are coming so strongly and denying that this letter is true. Well, whether it is true or not true, and still the issues that are being spoken about here are realistic issues that are really happening in our country. And we are saying, who doesn't know that Zanu-PF and his children, Zanu-PF and Mnangagwa and Ivene, he declares that Zimbabwe belongs to him and his children and his dynasty. So it shouldn't be a surprise. Why should Varakashi be rushing all over, trying to defend this letter as if what this letter is talking about is a new thing altogether to the Zimbabwean people? There's nothing new. Everyone knows the corruption is Zanu-PF. Everyone knows that Mnangagwa is the bishop of corruption in Zimbabwe. He is the one who is at the center, at the core of every corrupt activity that is happening in the nation. So it is not a surprise. We are not surprised. They may deny it or not, whether it is really Mutsvangwa speaking in this letter or not. But still, the issues that are being tackled in the letter are indeed very, very genuine and realistic issues. So Zanu-PF may run all over trying to defend whatever, using propaganda to run away from real issues that are happening in the country. But at the end of the day, it is not going to help. As always, we continue to speak that the propaganda of Zanu-PF is not going to take them any far. We continue to look at the deception that they want to present before the nation. But at the end of the day, we find that there's also a lot of exposure that is just coming out. Zanu-PF is just being exposed left, right, and center, right from inside Zanu-PF, from outside Zanu-PF. The exposure is all over. So they may deny it all they want. They may say Mngangagwa is not the author of the letter or whatever it is. We don't care. But we just know that the truth is what has been said in that letter. There is nothing that is further than from the truth that has been said in that letter. So the truth is always what ZANU-PF has run away from for all this time. And because of lies and propaganda, deception, misconstruing of information in Zimbabwe, this has led to where we are today. This is why our country does not rise. This is why Zimbabwe will not be able to prosper, because everything is a lie. There is nothing that is true in Zimbabwe. The economy is a lie. The agriculture is a lie. ZANU-PF has been lying that there's a lot of food, a bumper harvest. All over last year, they've been doing that, saying that we have enough wheat, we have enough maize in the storages until the next harvest season. Until this very year, they started speaking in the early months of the year. They spoke again and said Zimbabwe was food secure. Only about a month and a half to 2 months after that, they came out and started speaking about wanting to import maize, and even talking about importing yellow maize from countries like Brazil and the like. So you see what? We are so unfortunate as a nation to have a leadership that we have in our country. ZANU-PF is far from being a true de facto leadership that any nation would ever want. We can never go anywhere when we continue to have politicians that lie through their teeth like ZANU-PF. We really continue to stand and to declare that our country needs freedom from ZANU-PF. We need a free country. Zimbabwe must be freed. Our country needs freedom. A lot has been done by ZANU-PF. They have continued to do their shenanigans, but it's not helping anyone. It's not helping the country. It's not helping the nation. It's not helping citizens. Citizens of Zimbabwe are known for struggling. Everything in Zimbabwe is a struggle. Anything that is done in Zimbabwe is a struggle. So we cannot continue to live a life of struggle throughout, while the problems and the suffering of the Zimbabwean people is not caused by natural means, but it is caused by man-made reasons. It's ZANU-PF, its policies, its beliefs, its manifestos, and also its entitlement over Zimbabwe is what is causing Zimbabwe to be in the situation that we find ourselves in. So we need, as a family, we need as intercessors, as citizens, as lovers of change, as the Blue Train movement, to continue to stand up and declare that we need freedom in Zimbabwe, and we need to pray for Zimbabwe, for God's move to continue in Zimbabwe. We need to see the promises of God coming to pass in the nation of Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe needs new leaders. What we have so far is not are not leaders at all. These are just, as I always call them, a mafia, a hooligan government of thieves, of murderers, and people that are really supposed to be out, right in the prisons are the people that are running our government. But are they going to stay forever? No, nada. It's not going to happen. Very, very soon, ZANU-PF is falling. The end has come. We can see the last kicks of a dying horse. ZANU-PF is going away very, very soon. And let us continue to hold on to our faith, believe God in his promises for Zimbabwe, that Zimbabwe shall rise, Zimbabwe shall come out of its doldrums, Zimbabwe shall be uplifted, because God is in it, and definitely it is going to happen. Thank you so much. Gogomandaz says, greetings to you and Chatufa and family. Thank you very much for being on the show. And I would want to appreciate Africa and Beyond TV, my brother Ronald Makusha, who is also with us on the show. Thank you very much. We have Rangarai says, good evening, family. Mvura Noah, Yauya, Vasiri Mngarawa, Vaeredzwa nemvura. Yes, definitely. We are going to see ZANU-PF, being swept away by the floods of change, because this is the season. It's him kungoiramba nyaya asi iye achiti it's fake. That's Mutsvangwa'S game. Exactly. That was what I was also saying to somebody, that what, Mutsvangwa could also be using that opportunity of creating a letter that looks like it's not authentic. It's not like it looks like there's a copy and paste of the signature, like it's not really an original letter, while it is him who is doing it and already communicating through that. So ZANU-PF can run all they want, denying it, but Mutsvangwa could be really using that to actually send his communication out there, because it's a game of cat and mouse which is happening right inside ZANU-PF. Mutsvangwa must face what we always facing every day under ZANU-PF leadership. Why is it now pain when it happens to his son? ZANU-PF is dead, right? Exactly. It's painful when it is happening to them, because they are comfortable in their lies, they are comfortable in their comfort, but They don't see the suffering. They ignore the suffering of the Zimbabwean people. This is why we are saying now it is chickens are coming home to roost. It is now your time also to go into troublesome times and turbulences. It is the time for ZANU-PF to also feel the pinch, feel the heat, because the time for payback has come. Rudo Gumbo says, God is in it. Where is the military? They are responsible for putting the country under these thieves. When will they reverse their blunder? Yes, indeed, this blunder must be reversed. And we are watching and looking forward to see this being solved. And Regais Joshoran says, Gogo Lea, thank you very much for joining us on the show. We want to continue to be looking at what is happening in the nation. So we have 2 more shows that are coming on the main channel, Chatufa Television Production. Just after a few minutes, we are going to be crossing over to the main channel. So remain seated, be where you are, don't go anywhere. We are going to be meeting right now in the next shows. Remain, stay, support your channel, continue to believe change is coming, freedom is coming, God is in it. And indeed, Zimbabwe has seen its dawn because the time has come. Thank you very much for joining me. In the name of the Lord, I leave you at this particular moment. Be blessed.